Happy Saturday morning, y'all. This starts our weekend vlog, but we're only going to vlog today, Saturday. I'm actually not going to film tomorrow, Sunday, or Monday, Memorial Day. It's going to be time with our family. We've got a good friend coming in town. His mother's having surgery, and we've opened our home for him to be able to stay here with us. So I'm cooking and playing a good hostess, so when he does arrive, he will feel very comfortable. And I will share who our guest is going to be with his permission. He does have a channel, a YouTube channel, so I haven't spoke to him yet, but with his permission, I'll share that next week who came and visited with us. So our door is open for him as well as his extended family while his mom's in the hospital having surgery and recovering. So I ask that you guys share a silent prayer for his mother's easy surgery and fast recovery. So, but we are out here. I told you guys that we were going to be feeding this morning. Now, last week, I don't believe I touched on, and if I did, it was very faint. I'm having some issues with only the pepper plants. And it's only from the bottom leaves up. So a lot of them lost their leaves. Some didn't, but I left the bad leaves on so y'all can get a visual. And as I watched these plants, and then I noticed some other plants that didn't have this, I realized that they were lacking in calcium nitrate. So I went around this morning and I fed them calcium nitrate. The calcium nitrate I'm going to show you is not that brand. I just used that bag. Actually, this bag I'm going to show you runs about $16 for a 4-pound bag. We buy ours by 50-pound bags for $30 at the co-op. So I just use my little bag to refill, but I'm dealing with calcium issues, lack of, and I thought I had mixed my calcium along with my garden tone. But then after seeing where it began, I'm questioning because we had run out and we were waiting for that order of calcium nitrate. And I think I didn't go back and I didn't make a mental note. I don't know. You know, that was yesterday's news. I've slept since then, but it's still time to eradicate the problem. I also noticed since it was lacking in the calcium, it can also cause a fungus, because if y'all remember, we've had rain for 3 weeks and then it just shut off. Now they're saying we've got rain next week for 5 days. Well, when you have that inconsistency of water, in other words, too much water and then no water, you're subject to get a fungus. I'm going to head that off with liquid copper. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you everything that we're about to put into the garden and what it's used for and what we're going to use it on. And we're also going to go look at the squash plants. Guys, I almost lost them because they're already weak anyway. You know, they're full of water. Last Tuesday or Wednesday, all of a sudden a windstorm came. Beautiful skies, no rain. And I ran outside because I knew my plants were just all of them laying over. And I was like, oh no. Well, the squash plants, because they're in that tunnel, and remember, I learned something. I'm not going to put them in the hoops moving to next year. I had to literally take yarn and string and tie them to the hoops just to stand them up. It snapped them like no tomorrow. So because I had to trim them, I left open houses, open holes for your squash bugs, your squash vine bugs. Well, what I used to prevent this, and many of you have seen me use it, is the Captain Jacks. And I'm going to show you where I apply it to, and then you'll have a better understanding why I'm only treating the base and up where I cut. Then I don't have to worry about them boring because they're not going to go in behind the Captain Jack powder that I choose to use. On this bag, you'll see $14.99. It's a 4-pound bag. Yes, that's what I paid 2 years ago for one bag. Like I said, our co-op is ordering ordering 50-pound bags for $30. So I just keep this little bag so it's easier to tote around. That's what I apply to every pepper plant. Now we're gonna treat the pepper plants with liquid copper. And I've already got it mixed up in my jug. These are old vinegar jugs that we save, and I need to mark this one. The other ones are marked. That way I have a jug for each liquid concentrate that I want to use, and I don't have to worry about just keep rinsing and rinsing. Here is the Captain Jack's that I'll be using. It's similar to like 7 Dust, but this is formulated for organic growing. So I do use this Captain Jack's. Y'all have seen me use it as long as I've had a YouTube. The More Bloom. Now this is what I'm gonna feed every plant except for the green beans and the purple hull peas. I will feed them More Bloom. The Miracle Grow is strictly for our flowers, all of our pretties. And I just go around, put a scoop in each pot and water it in. I don't bother to water it in a container and then go around and fill. I just put a little scoop in each plant and water it in. So that's strictly for our flowers. And this is how I apply the Captain Jack's. Wherever I had to trim or what broke off, I always apply it just to the base. Now this is a straight neck squash and it's done pretty good, but I'm seeing less female and more male on the second round. Now this zucchini is loaded, but as I scan down, there sits our Captain Jack's. And you see where I've trimmed? Now, the best method to trim would be follow it all the way to the end and it'll actually close up. But I couldn't get my nippers in here. So I just put Captain Jack right in and around the open hole. Now this is a crook neck squash. Again, where there is open holes, I put Captain Jack. Now this is the squash plant that took the biggest hit. It even broke the hoop. So I let it be and I tied it to the hoop itself. So you can see how much damage. Now, it does have some squash on it, but I will probably pull this one if I don't see any more females. And if you look from this angle, this is why I said next year, they will not go underneath the hoops. You cannot even maneuver through here. Here is 2 bell peppers. Do you see something missing? Lots of leaves. And I saved this to show you guys. This was my indication that it was lacking in calcium. Now, I do have blooms. It's not too late to save these plants. See, I've got some blooms. Now, if we come to the back side, there's a big difference. Well, these were the first ones that I planted. And you see, other than a few little leaves at the bottom, and I did give some calcium nitrate, these are fine. We start moving over here, and we see them shedding leaves. That's a true indication you have calcium deficiency. And here's your leaf, and it will just fall off. So that's why I fed them heavy, and I will be watering that in. Now, because it's weak, they are at risk to a fungus. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna spray liquid copper. That's just for preventative. I may already have a fungus starting, but I've got to get it under control. If I do, and if I don't, and it's strictly just solid calcium deficiency, I'm not hurting my plant. So that's what I'm fixing to do with my little battery operated sprayer. So much better than walking around with them pumps. So if y'all can get one of these, what are they, like 10 bucks at Lowe's and Home Depot? Save your vinegar gallon jugs. They screw on perfect. And you can label each vinegar jug to what you're using in liquid form. And this is real easy. I just set the tube in some water, squirt it a little bit, and it rinses it right out. Not only do we have a mole or bowl issue, I woke up this morning and it looks like I have a pocket gopher issue. And this is what they do. So I don't know which den it's in. And if you look right here, there's the bowl that starts here and goes all the way down. So now the water hose didn't work. So we're gonna try this. I have an 8-pack. Now the wind's blowing. I'm only gonna do the pocket gopher right now. Now I tell you what, I think I'm gonna do one of each. Just in this area, we have them everywhere. But I'm gonna start here. Yeah, and I'm gonna light 2 of these. One for the bowl or mole, because they both the same. And then I'm gonna figure out which hole I wanna drop this in. And wherever I drop this, I've gotta make sure everything else past that is smashed down and flattened. So I'm gonna set y'all up and we fix and do this. Now this is sulfur, so I've gotta see the wind direction, which the wind is coming from the east, which is odd, almost southeast. There it is. I found its little hole. Right there. Well, that scared me. I didn't expect it to go off that fast. There it is. Right there, that was easy. That one was easy. All right, that's 2 down. No rain in sight, nothing on radar, and it is pouring, y'all. It's about 12:45 in the afternoon. Happy Sunday morning, y'all. We started out here a little after 7. Buddy was in charge of getting the diesel can ready. And I have been working on one side, which I'll show y'all, the side off the camera, the extra chicken run, and then the main run. And I'm about a month behind, but I'm gonna get it all done today. I'm just raking all the little sticks and piles, burning them with diesel. Once they burn down, I will then take the residual and I'm gonna pile it up in the wheelbarrow and go set it in on the other side of the compost pile. I don't like the chickens to be out scratching, and there's little twigs and little limbs and stuff from the winter of it falling, because they can scratch their pads. So far, 3 years, I've never had an injury. I need to keep it that way. But as you can see, we ended yesterday with a monsoon coming down for about 15-20 minutes. I had nothing in radar. So it got very hot. So we were able to finish up pulling some big limbs and debris out of here yesterday. And then we called it done because I had a lot of other stuff I needed to get done. Like I said, we've got company coming. So this morning was the best time, even in the heat, and it's hot and muggy. It's probably 90 right now at 8:30 maybe. So I'm gonna tackle this. This is my project for Sunday. And then once I get it to where I like it, you know, I'll walk y'all through. I mean, we have 7 chickens. We had 8. We lost 1. They have a lot of calcium in their feed. They have oyster shells. They're on a great grain diet, lots of good snacks. But the last 3 weeks, I noticed she was laying shellless eggs. Her appetite seemed to go down too. So I was giving her extra supplements, but this morning we found her gone. So we are down to 7 chickens, and I had just cleaned the coop Wednesday, completely top to bottom, put all new straw in. Well, when I found that, I went ahead and scooped the top layer off, cleaned their roost up really good, and I did put some lime down, and I did put DE down. So everything should be good to go again. I personally think she got egg bound. And I say that because I saw a little bit of loose yolk about the top perch to where she was laying. And that's all that I saw. So I would say she was egg bound. And you know, those things are really out of our control unless there was symptoms arising to that. And she was, like I said, she was drinking and moving, just not eating as much. So I knew that there was a situation. But I do have 7 girls, and I want to make sure that what I am providing for them is a safe, fun haven for them to do their chicken stuff. Now in this back, I'm honing in on cleaning it out because I have various grass seeds for chicken runs, and I can cut them off to that, which I will. And all I'm going to do is lightly break the ground, spread it 14 to 21 days. It'll be up, let them in, and then I will plant in patches, like every 3 days or something, to get it to come up. And so therefore through the summer they'll have some leafy greens and things like that to carry them through the heat. We just put their fans in their coop. We do run 2 box fans. I also run a fan in their run. We haven't got it up yet because it's real shady and it's comfortable. But in their coop, we do run 2 box fans turned backwards. So it pulls and draws the heat out. And they do fine in our hot temps. So this morning is all about the girls. And I'm catching a heat stroke with these fires. But I wanted to go ahead and clarify at the beginning, this is diesel, not gas. I don't know anybody that wants to put gas on a flame.
Me.
Well, we're excluding Mr. Buddy. I believe in diesel. It's a slow burn. It's not going to go and combust on you. Ladies, if you're burning, diesel. Diesel. No match. Get you one of them torches and you're good to go. Lippy don't fool with gas. Except at the gas pump. That's it. Okay, we've got it all done that we're going to do today. That's just our wood pile there. But as the piles burn down, and we're getting rain tonight, it'll go ahead and put the fires out. We're not letting the chickens out. And then I'll come back with a shovel and I'll put that over to the compost pile, all them ashes. Now this is a little over 1/4 of an acre that they have. And you see we have a fence that separates. Well, I opened it up so they could go through here, but I will be closing it, like I said, planting a food plot for them. But everything's burning good. And we'll, of course, come in with the mower and go back over and mulch up any little residual leaves or sticks. Now, we've not showed y'all this back here. This is a dump pile. That's where we've got to load up to take to the dump. But we've been laying ground cover and everything that can sit out in the elements. We've just set back here till he gets his wood shop finished and his mechanic shop. That's all of our lumber. There's a stainless steel table that he's gonna restore and put rollers on for the garden. But this is where we've set everything. We still have to lay more ground cover. And we had that black privacy fence, so we just, you know, divided it off because you don't want people to see your junk. But if you see the holes in the fence, let this be a lesson. When you are blowing with a backpack blower, don't turn the exhaust to a fence like this. This is a material. It literally melted holes. But this is temporary, so it's fine with us. Yeah, this is that corner we still been working on, and I think we've made lots of improvement. Long ways to go, guys, but him and I in 2 golf carts. We cannot complain. And all these pavers that you see was here on the property. So we have just been stacking them on this back fence. That's a sink that Buddy's gonna restore. I'm putting it in the garden. Not to use, but as display and plant in it. So we still got that, but look at all this mess. We do a section at a time to clean it up. And we have fence to fix because the other property right there has broke parts of the fence down. But this was the best spot to put all the concrete pavers that we find when we start clearing. And we can use those. Y'all, it's 11:30. And Buddy's about to put some ribs on the smoker. And I'm gonna fix us an afternoon snack. Last week when we did the pickled vegetables, many of you said you wanted to see the results after 3 days. Well, yesterday was Saturday. That was the 3rd day. Buddy, Grandpa, and I come and got us a bowl, and I totally forgot to film because y'all was curious to see if it was still crispy and, you know, how we like it, which we love pickled vegetables and pickled beets because I did one of each. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, because I don't have the big tripod in here. It's out there for another project we're about to do. So I'm just going to try and get this thing to tilt down the best of my ability. And we're going to scoop us out some and sample it. Now that's a heck of an angle, but that's all I can do. It's that little pink one. And I love the pickles and the sweet bells. I get a couple of beets, and I have a pickled egg in here. Quite a few eggs, because we love pickled beets and eggs. And this is good, guys, not just for the summer, but this is actually good for your gut. Cucumber. I don't have a mic on, so if you can't hear the crunch, trust me. Oh, y'all should hear the crunch. It is so good. Now, the recipe I gave y'all, ooh, that was strong. If you don't want as much vinegar bite, I took a breath in when I bit into it. You can add 1 more kitchen tablespoon of raw sugar, cane sugar. I wanted to stay on the vinegar bite. Gut health. Now, there's no way around the pepper but to actually hold it while I leave the stems on. a lot of juice is going to come out of this. Now, this is what we like to put on like a sub sandwich. Bite it, sprinkle that vinegar on there. Oh, it is so good. Y'all see? All that juice. By making that slit, all of that vinegar and everything just goes into that pepper. Peppers is probably top notch. Now, Buddy and I talked. He loves the purple cabbage. I'm not the biggest fan. So, on my next batch, I'm going to do carrots. Just take carrots, make into spears. I'm the carrot gal. And he said that would be great for him. I'm just not a big raw cabbage eater, but I love cabbage. So, yes, I'm going to take my bowl. He's going to get his when he gets through getting the ribs ready. Right now, he's taking that big membrane, that back off, and get them on the smoker. Take us a break, and we're going to another project. Okay, break time's over. We're at the Sugar Shack. Buddy's been gathering, about a year now, some large pallets. That's Lippy's version. I have to have Buddy tell y'all what it is. But we have 3 of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a porch. It won't have a roof right now because we'd have to gather 10 and post for that. But we will have a foundation, and I'll just have a small step getting up on it into the Sugar Shack. And then I can put my bench and a chair there. That's going to make it nice because right now I walk and I've only got that little platform. And when it rains, mud gets up on it. Not saying it won't with this, but since we're going to use cinder blocks, it's going to get it up off the ground. So one more step. Now, I'm going to leave it just plain wood. I may stain it later. I may just leave it like it is. Right now, we're just going to get it up. Clouds are starting to move in, which I'm not complaining. Are you complaining, buddy?
Nope.
No, because we're about to sweat to death out there. I've been turning the piles. He went and turned them and added more diesel. So early morning, when daylight hits, I'll be able to scoop all of them burn piles up, put them in the wheelbarrow, and go put them at the compost. But that's what we're fixing to do. He's got to level out the ground. We got to set cinder blocks, and then we got to lift these big boys up. Now, I don't know, how wide is one of them, bud?
Oh, they're about 6 foot 6.
6 foot.
Big old worm. You
Yeah,
want a big old
no,
worm?
thank you. I'm good.
Big old worm.
There's 6, so what, 18? We're going to have 18 feet of porch.
Almost 20.
Almost 20 feet of porch, so not too bad for free.
5 foot out.
And 5 foot out. Perfect for me to put my bench and my chair, because when I'm canning and working, I come outside. I like to look, because it's kind of shady here early morning. And that's when I like to get a lot of work done. So it'll be nice just to have that. And if we wanted to, since we're going to be tearing down the back porch, we can also move our grill out here too. Weather permitted, because it won't have a cover. So I'm excited. Another project checked off. I'm just going to set them close for you. How many of these we had to buy? 8 of them, right?
8.
Yeah, 8.
Balance it for a minute.
Got it.
Level. Now let's square up.
Yep, I got it even.
Okay.
Now if you just kick it. There you go. I even? Yeah. Yeah, 150 pounds, they're like 500 pounds.
Right, get that sunblock over there.
Tell me when.
A bit. A bit.
Okay. A little bit more?
Yep.
Well, wait, I ain't got mine stopped. That sucker took off from me. Oh, it's because I'm on the cinder block.
Oh,
That's why we can go
that's
nowhere.
what's wrong.
Oh, like some done hacking here. All right, we're gonna move that one. You got it. Okay.
Yeah, see it. See the line on the building?
I'm telling you, that's what it is. The line's messing our eyes up.
Yeah, but the line on the building is the 10 running. It should be true. But if you look there where they put the 10 on, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
You see on this end?
Because the level don't
dry.
lie. The level
Yeah, it's
don't
dry.
lie.
So, let's see where we at.
Are we off?
Let's see where we're at.
That's crooked, that wood.
See. That's the barrel. Oh.
Take it out. Okay.
I need a heavy and a little thinner, big cedar lip.
Was that them little boards we first used? Yeah, you don't. You use them.
Going up under as far as you can, because you got a little back.
Oh, okay. Trust me.
Yeah. You can't squish it so much. Damn gumballs.
It's the gumballs that's doing it. I hate them. I'm telling you, they're from the pits of hell.
Alright, I'm gonna need a ease it down.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a 2x back in at least.
Right? See it?
Yeah,
You want me to go up?
yeah.
Oh, there's your cedar wood.
Yeah. Soak it up. Don't bust your butt.
Whew. I had to come up in the carport so I could charge my golf cart. But while we're taking a break, I wanted to show y'all something. A lot of you in the South probably do this, but even up north it gets hot. We have maybe 10 of these like 4-ply heavy commercial little Ziploc bags. We use them to put ice in, and then we set our rags for our face down in it with that ice. And I made these about 6 this morning, and it's still as cold as can be, only the ice did melt. But this is how we do our rags. And then that helps us stay cool, and then I just wash the rags, rinse the bags out, and you can reuse them. But if y'all have never thought about that, that's how you can keep your cold rags handy. And just squeeze out the cold water and wash your face, and there you go. A Southerner's trick. Well, guys, it's about 5 o'clock Sunday evening. I didn't think I was going to be able to film the whole weekend, but we did pretty good. I did shorten a lot of the clips, but it got to give you guys a window of what we've done for 2 days. I just cleaned up. Now Mr. Buddy's getting cleaned up, and we're going to call this weekend vlog a wrap. We still have a lot more to do this evening in the house preparing some food. I hope y'all's Memorial Day will be a blessed one. Make the memories with family and friends. Be safe. But as always, as we say, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And we'll see you guys on the next one.